that's the lesson that you take from this. Don't ever, ever, ever give up on someone.
When it comes down to it, it's a very difficult sport.
I enjoy the people that are here.
Thank you so much.
You're so welcome.
Welcome to Community Close-Up. I'm Joe Nelson. Today we head to the fair not for cheese curds and rides, but for crunched metal and toothpaste. We'll show you how a group of kids collaborated using science, plastic dinosaurs, and a fishing pole. We explain how young artists in Anoka are brightening up a dark passage. And we'll meet drivers on a mission for demolition, working for weeks, if not months, on a car preparing for a smashing last ride. But first, more than 1,100 soccer teams competed this year at the National Sports Center in Blaine for the USA Cup, with some representing their neighborhoods and others an entire continent. We found out how teams are learning more than just soccer skills with every match they play.
Nice job!
In its biggest tournament of the year, the Coon Rapids United Under-10 team opened its USA Cup, finding the net with ease.
I've seen some people with medals, they look really cool. And I really want to have one.
Soccer is like really fun, and you get to do just more than what they think you get to do.
We've had some early success, and I'm proud of the boys. You know, they're coming out and they're fighting and they're playing hard, and they're doing what we ask of them.
Whether home is 12 miles away or 12,000, these small players have big dreams.
I'm gonna try to play national soccer.
Football is nice to me. I enjoy it. I love it. And in future, I'll be a professional footballer.
Another U10 team playing on the same fields took a longer road to get here.
Football is my life. I started playing football, I was 6 years old.
In Kampala, Uganda, Edgar's youth program offers thousands of children much more than a ball and a field.
Where we come from in Uganda, we have a lot of issues to do with diseases, that is malaria. We have issues to do with mothers giving birth from homes, not hospitals. We have issues with drug abuse. We also have issues with school dropouts. So we encourage everyone to go to school, everyone to drop drugs. So we are using football to reach out to the community.
Coach Ronald Lawanga says off the field, Edgar's is promoting wellness, recognizing needs, and advocating for assistance when those needs aren't met.
When we go to a community and we find how bad the community is doing, so we go out there, clean the community, sensitize the people in the community, teach them how to live a clean life and a healthy life. And then when we come back, you see, we're in the city center. We advocate for help through our leaders. I mean, we like communication to our leaders that, look, here we have such and such a community is not doing well. So through this program, we are reaching out to everyone. We even go to hospitals. We visit sick people, sick children.
One Edgar's youth team, the only to represent Africa, traveled to Blaine to play and to see what the U.S. has and how they could one day improve their impoverished country.
In Uganda, there are like short buildings, but here they're really tall and big places. I thought I was in a tall building paradise.
We went to the American Mall. We went shopping, and then we went to the Nickelodeon Universe, and then we had fun in the roller coasters.
It's all about working hard and thinking about where you come from. What they have in their hearts is their country at heart, because everything they do, when we go back to our rooms where we sleep, you'll find everyone saying, I wish we could have such a way back at home. So it makes me feel proud, because they're also seeing a difference with what is here and what's the other side.
Coach Lawanga says, unfortunately, many of the best footballers are left at home, and only the families who can afford to send their children across the Atlantic get to play here.
As Edgar's youth program, we don't have enough funds, to support everyone. Because if we were to support everyone, if we had the funds, we would be having the best teams here.
I thank my parents for paying for me to come here in the USA, and I'll give them very big hugs, and I'll tell them what happened there when I was there.
Let's go back. We have to win this game, and we know we can win it.
Although their soccer moms aren't on the sidelines, they're not forgotten.
I told her that I'm having fun here, but there are huge guys here, but we are winning like every match we have played so far. I told them I'll miss them a lot. Every time I think of my mom, sad. I feel sad.
Ranging from 8 to 10 years old, these boys have now seen a glimpse of life in America, but haven't lost their pride in Uganda.
Uganda is clean and wonderful and fun.
Uganda is a nice place, nice business.
Do you think you would ever want to live in the United States?
No, I love my country. It is a very good country and we need help in development and political help.
Teams exchange small gifts to remember their experience together between the nets.
We get flags, we get jerseys, we get pins. So when we go back to Africa, it is a symbol that America loves Africa, and this is what they gave us in return.
It's kind of something to show to your friends that, like, you've met people from different countries.
Get your legs warmed up.
Both teams' coaches hope their players will bring home more than medals and memories.
The biggest thing about sports is learning sportsmanship first and foremost, learning how to win, obviously learning how to lose. They learn how to compete, you know, they learn how to give a little bit extra when they think they might not have anything. And I think in the long run, sports is going to develop character because of that.
What I want my kids to carry back home, the self-confidence. You see, if you have the self-confidence, it will drive you. Your inward drive will have to be seen.
I thank the tournament organizers for putting this wonderful tournament in the USA.
It's the most beautiful tournament I've seen in the world. We've traveled everywhere, but we've not seen any of the kind. When we leave this tournament and go back to Uganda, it's a different story. These kids share experience of the USA Cup with the kids the other side, and everyone loves it.
Coon Rapids United finished in 4th place and Edgar's youth program in 14th. For information on how to sponsor a player or team for next year's USA Cup, contact the National Sports Center. Still to come, why young people in Anoka are painting the town. Stay with us.
This is the moment I knew. His future had no boundaries.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org.
As summer break nears its end, a group of students are making sure they're using their time wisely. 42 young artists from the area are leaving their mark here in Anoka through this tunnel covered in art. Community Close-Up's Jenny Yu takes us through the windows of time.
I really want to be an artist when I get older.
With the dip of a paintbrush, 12-year-old Lainey Noss says she can already picture her future.
I just kind of got the hang of it. I started when I was really young and then just kind of liked it.
The 6th grader goes to Anoka Middle School for the Arts, and she's taking a section of this 80-foot tunnel under Main Street and painting what Anoka means to her.
Star, because we're like #1, and then the tornado, because the Anoka tornadoes, and then the hockey sign or whatever.
I'm painting a mural. It's a picture of downtown Anoka.
Grace Sockery remembers what it was like trick-or-treating in Anoka.
And I always liked looking at the pumpkin on top of the big building and seeing it wink at me.
And with the stroke of a brush, her ideas come to life.
It's cool to be able to do something I love and show it to the rest of my community.
This is our very first project that we're doing for young artists of Anoka.
Jen Shoemaker, who recently moved from Coon Rapids to Anoka, is the founder of the project.
Each one got to pick their own space that they wanted, and they get a window that they'll be painting, and they had to do an interpretation of what Anoka means to them.
She's a longtime artist who wanted to give kids an opportunity to be creative within the community, and with the city's approval, Young Artists of Anoka was born.
And we're hoping to eventually get it big enough where we can actually start providing scholarships for our seniors as they go on to art school as well.
I do sports, and it's cool to do something other than sports, and an awesome highlight of my summer, definitely.
We have had so many people come down and help, have ideas on what kind of paints to use and different things, that it's just been wonderful. Everybody that comes through the tunnel has been super supportive and excited about it.
And another goal of Young Artists is to keep graffiti off of these walls and give graffiti artists a canvas of their own.
We are looking into a project for graffiti art so that we can actually get those kids to be using their talents and actually doing really cool things that other people can appreciate, because graffiti art is an amazing way to show and express your uniqueness as well.
It means a lot that I hopefully get to inspire people, and especially younger kids, to do something that they really like to do.
For Community Close-Up, I'm Jenny Yu.
The project is funded by the City of Anoka and private donations. Up next, we hit the pit and find out what it takes to chase and escape collisions as a demolition derby driver. We'll be right back.
You wouldn't let money just blow out of your house. So when your AC or heater is on, make sure the doors, windows, and fireplace flue are shut tight. If you're headed out, turn down the AC or lower the heat by 10 degrees. And always keep your water heater set at 120. A little bit of common sense goes a long way. Get more great tips at energysaver.gov.
Thousands come to the Anoka County Fair every year, but not every car that makes it through the gates comes back home on all four wheels. We found out what it's like to be behind the wheel as a demolition derby driver.
I guess my inspiration was as a young child, at about 6 years old, my aunt and uncle brought me to Cedar Lake Speedway, and they had one on the track. Next day, me and my cousin started taking Power Wheels cars or Matchbox cars and beating them with hammers. So that's it's kind of stuck in my brain for a little bit.
Before he could reach the pedals, Jeremy Oswald wanted to be behind the wheel, but off the road.
A different uncle of mine called my dad one night and says, "Why don't you and Jeremy come down and let's go to the Anoka County Fair." My dad said, "You want to go?" I said, "Of course I want to go." So we went, and I just never forgot it after that day.
After years of sitting in the stands at demolition derbies, he soon found his place in the driver's seat.
I'd never met a person that had ever done it, so we had to start from scratch. So we did it, and it was fun. We didn't do so well, but we did the best we could, and it was something that I knew that was never going to be able to quit doing.
Adam Nicholas of Coon Rapids and his brother Scott saw their dad sling mud on the Anoka pits as kids and knew they had to give it a try.
A lot bigger adrenaline rush than I thought. Yeah, it always looked like fun, but until you climb in and actually do it and feel it, it's great.
For decades, thousands have driven to the Anoka County Fair hoping to see crumpled Cavaliers and battered Buicks. Retired driver Steve Heitman is now the ringleader of this four-wheel circus, putting on a show each year and helping new drivers through his company Impact Motorsports Promotions.
From a young age, I became a mechanic, and I just like working on cars, and I took it to the next level. If you don't have someone that's been doing it forever giving you a hand, helping you out, you definitely have to just learn from what happened.
Before they can make their first hit, drivers will spend 40 hours or more removing glass, plastic, and upholstery, and anything else that shatters or burns easily.
We leave the driver's seat. That's about it. We put a cage in behind the back, which is a minimum requirement to go behind the back seat. We usually add more coming forward and backward just to essentially protect me. We tie the seat belts up so they don't ratchet like a standard one. You put the fuel system inside the cab.
Next driver, number 70.
Cars aren't allowed to crash into driver's side doors, and a car has 60 seconds to make a hit or they're out. The last car to make a hit wins.
I'll allow them to have one fire. If it's safe, we put it out. Rollovers, if we get them back on their wheels and it's safe, they can go again. But yeah, no, it's there. Mainly it's down to the last guy running.
With the crowd and engines roaring, the derby began with a bonus race to smash a watermelon in the middle of the pit.
I usually don't try and go for the watermelon. I did one year, and it put me out of the race on the first hit. So I usually try and just hang back a little bit.
The skill, try to be a defensive and offensive, just like any other sport. You got to watch which hits you take, and hit the right ones just the same.
The first guy I wanted to hit was number 9 because I thought he was going to be a pretty tough car to beat. So I wanted to wait for him and then go after him right away, which is kind of what I did from there. To be honest with you, it's kind of a blur. You just run, do your best not to hit anybody in the driver's door and just go.
It's incredible to me, if you're sitting up there as a fan, you know that there's not much done to that car and just what they can take. I mean, they'll bend the hoods all the way up past the front end and be dragging. They'll have 2 tires left, and it's incredible how the driver can still maneuver that automobile even after it shouldn't move at all. So it's entertaining.
Jeremy's run hit a wall.
It was running underpowered, and then it seemed like the fuel pump had gone out of commission. Just kind of a bad luck situation.
But Adam's wheels kept spinning until a winner was crowned.
I thought I was going to take it the time he died and I was able to get mine going again, and I came back and just barely nudged him. I thought, I hope that would do it for me.
His Chevy Lumina came up just short of victory, finishing second in its class.
Even if you don't win or you get close, it's a lot of fun. If you get some trophy or some hardware to bring home, it's all the better.
Adam and Jeremy both say they love to win, but find joy in building and a passion for smashing.
I start questioning myself somewhere in the later 2/3 of the build, asking, gosh, is this really worth it? But then when you're out there, it absolutely is worth it, yeah.
You win money to place the top 3. I think this class is like $500. So it's money, but by the time of the day and by the time it's all said and done, it's not a profitable. It's pure hobby, pure weekend warrior, adrenaline junkie stuff. There's no profit margin in it.
And as they get older, they hope to pass on what they've learned to a new generation of rim rattlers.
My goal is to do it till I physically can't do it anymore. I always tell people at least my son will have to be driving before I would even consider it, but I plan on doing it as long as I can, and I plan on running Anoka the whole time.
And there's some guys that I definitely see out here in their 50s. I think they start to pass it on to their kids. My kids are in the pits today. They're 15 and almost 15 and 14. They're going to be turning pretty soon. They're already itching to drive, so I suppose once we get to that point, then let them drive maybe and just help them.
It's a sport that's got a lot more people that like to watch it than like to do it. It's kind of a, I don't want to say it's dying, but it's changing, and people just don't do it anymore. The competitiveness, it sometimes, gets people where they aren't interested in it, or you got to have some sort of skills and you got to work on them. And you have to, spend a lot of time. But even a stock car is, 40, 50 man hour. I mean, it's a huge amount of hours to bring it in. So it's something that people don't want to do anymore. If you can find the resources and the equipment to do it and somebody to help you, it is something that you'll never experience in any other way. Everybody that has given a chance to do it should try it. It's a wonderful sport.
Both Adam and Jeremy say they haven't had any injuries from derbies other than some neck and back soreness, and they try to spend less than $300 for each car. Coming up, we head to the 4-H building where Coon Rapids kids set off a chain reaction and are learning along the way. Stay with us.
Every day across America, excess food is gathered by a network of good people at local food banks, giving hope to millions of children who struggle with hunger. They've earned their wings, and you can too. Together, we can solve child hunger. Support Feeding America and your local food bank at feedingamerica.org.
Thanks for watching Community Close-Up. We'll leave you with a yo-yo and plastic dinosaurs. Not the typical tools used to brush your teeth, but a group of Coon Rapids kids used them all as part of a competition teaching 4-Hers teamwork, physics, and problem solving. I'm Joe Nelson. We'll see you next month.
I don't think our neighbors would like it if we kept a cow in our backyard.
Growing up in the suburbs with no sheep or pigs to show, kids in the Anoka County 4-H look for other ways to participate. But knowing not everyone is into crafting or gardening, 4-H co-leader Denise Keller offered kids a chance to challenge themselves and have fun at the same time.
And I thought it would be a good way to get some of the boys together to interact.
This year, the club asked kids to build a Rube Goldberg machine that uses toys and everyday items in at least 10 steps through a chain reaction, with the end goal of squeezing toothpaste onto a toothbrush.
I heard about it last year at the state fair when some of my friends from school did it. I thought it looked pretty cool.
What I did initially is send out a mass email to the club, and I got some interest that way.
The team RC Squared formed and soon dug through closets, garages, and basements to get the ball rolling.
We all brought random things from our house and decided if they could do anything important.
Me and my brother, we brought the start, and we also brought the dinosaurs.
We had a giant pile of stuff when we just started building.
Then came strategy.
We started with getting the pliers to squeeze a tube of toothpaste to get it on a toothbrush. Then we had to find a way to squeeze the pliers. That's how we got the plank of wood. Then we got the fishing pole.
So far we're working on the first couple of steps to get a golf ball down to a series of tubes.
We pretty much assigned parts certain parts to people that they would build and then bring in for the next meeting.
Going from a rolling yo-yo to bristles covered with crest wasn't easy.
It's been a little bit challenging because we've run into quite a few roadblocks.
I'd say it's been a little frustrating because we just couldn't really figure out what to do with the fishing pole part.
The most difficult thing was probably getting everything to fit within 6 feet and be supported correctly so that it will stay still when it's working.
Preparing for a competition at the Anoka County Fair, the team of 8 met at each other's homes, learning what works and what doesn't.
Have you gotten it to work yet?
Not the whole thing.
But you're pretty sure it will?
No.
It's learning to work together as a team, and then also learning to listen to their other team members.
That looks very strange.
We're going to set the cups here, right?
If at first they don't succeed, they can do it again. Maybe try it a little different way, but they'll still be able to figure out how to make it work.
We still have to get the funnel to here and get it support along with the tube.
With the clock ticking on the night before the competition, major design changes were made.
We found that some parts didn't work, so we changed it to so much that we just had a completely different thing. The only things that are the same are the beginning and the end.
With judges watching closely, their work would finally be put to the test.
A yo-yo was falling off a ramp on a truck, hitting dominoes, activating a pendulum, causing a little metal ball to fall down, making the ball go onto a channel, hitting a Hot Wheels car that launches another car, making that car hit another one, taking out a stick that the fishing pole fall down, making the brick fall on the vise, and crushing the toothpaste so it goes out on the toothbrush.
Their first attempt saw everything go as planned, except that the toothpaste stayed put.
We didn't do very good because for the first time, the toothpaste didn't go all the way on the brush.
2 more tries left the toothbrush dry.
The second time, the ball got stuck on the duct tape wall that we had to make.
When judging was over, another try proved their design worked.
We were all excited. It was a good feeling to have it work.
It feels pretty good because I helped build it.
With no trip to the state fair this year, RC Squared took home red ribbons and valuable lessons from building their machine.
I like science, and this is kind of different too.
It's a great learning experience. I hope to be an engineer when I grow up, so I'm trying. This will help a lot with that.
Everybody that participated this year will have learned something valuable. We all learned something, and hopefully it will, next year it'll work.